Hi gamers, once again, welcome to Cridler Gaming, and today we are looking at the Apex game and what Fortnite might put in it, because as we've seen from the latest patch, many of the Fortnite changes have come from this game here. Now this game is a 16 game, so you shouldn't be playing it unless you're at least a teenager, for a couple of reasons. One, it is quite violent, and two, the swearing is terrible if you get the wrong squad mates, and although you can mute them, it's not a default unlike Fortnite. And three, if you play these sort of games when you're tiny, by the time you get to teenager years, you'll be desensitised and you just won't enjoy gaming, so stay away until you're old enough. But what we're going to do is going to show you a little bit about Apex. This is going to be completely child friendly, so anything bad will be sliced out. But what I do want to show you are the aspects of the game that you may see in Fortnite soon, if they do decide that it's for them. Whether they're allowed to or not is up to them, I guess. But the main difference, I think, really between Apex and Fortnite is that in Apex you have 8 different characters and they each have different special abilities. So I can't say Fortnite ever doing that, because in Fortnite all the skins are no competitive advantage. Now there are skins in Apex, but they don't really add too much to the game in my opinion. You collect them as you go through the levels. Now I'm just going to start the game off and show you some of the major differences, and if I can pull it off later then I'll show you the one that I think that they'll copy, and that's the respawning of teammates, which would be completely new. Now the main change that's come into Fortnite patch 8.1 and season 8 is the ping system, which I'll show you before. So unlike Fortnite, on Apex you are a squad of 3 and you choose your different characters, which is completely different. So that is the main reason why the games are different, I guess. The gameplay other than that is pretty much straightforward. You choose, you start with 60 players rather than 100, and there's circles that shrinks and you eventually end up with one squad. It's the only mode in Apex, and that's how what it's built around, really. One annoying thing about Apex is if a good player sees that they're with 2 really poor players, which you can see from the cards, they tend to leave, and if you don't go to where they want to go, again they leave, and that's extremely frustrating. So any good Apex players that are watching this, don't do it. It's really yeah, really frustrating. So one good thing I do like about Apex, which I've said should be in Fortnite for years now, or at least the year that it's been out, is you can see in the top here how many people are left in the ship or in the bus as Fortnite. So you can see there's 23 etc. here, and I'm just going to choose a place. Let's go, lots of people go down here. So as we see, when we launch, we will launch as a squad of 3. Now you can actually go off on your own, but we're just going to land somewhere, and I want to show you some of the things. So you can ping a place. I could ping there or here. If I see a bad guy, I can double click and ping the bad guy, which you may have seen coming into Fortnite, etc. Now I'm probably going to get into a battle or so here, so this might go off pretty sharpish. We'll see how it goes. What I want to do is find a hill, so I'm not going to play this game. Sorry teammates. One thing that you do when you don't have a weapon in Apex, you run faster, and I think that's something that should have happened in Fortnite a long time ago. And another thing in Apex, which I think Fortnite might copy eventually, is when you run and you can slide down the hill and it speeds it up. Now that's something, I'll show you that again, that is something that is completely different, and it's, you know, if you've got a long way to run on Fortnite, this is quite handy. So you just slide and it does speed you up. Say I don't have a weapon at the moment, so I'm running fast. If I did pick up a weapon, if I can find one without getting into too much trouble. Weapon anywhere? Right. Again, everything's very similar. You've got shields and you've got weapons, you've got grenades and all sorts of stuff. You've got boxes on here where you can choose to get other people's gear rather than in Fortnite where it just drops. And again, like Fortnite, you can revive people. So I'm going to cut this bit out. So you can revive people, which I'm not showing you because it is a little bit rough around the edges. Now, the XP in Apex per game is very biased to the time you're alive, which is fine if you want to. Bush camping is available, you just sort of hang back on it rather than going into battles, which is fine. But to revive someone you get 25 XP, or you can stay alive for 9 seconds longer. So it's like, well, why don't they put the XP up, pretty much. Now what I wanted to do is show you the ping system. So if I RB there, it says let's go over there, and if I find, you go somewhere, gameplay's been pretty sedate, which is good. Right, so I found this here, this arc star, so I can ping it by pressing RB and it will tell the people on the top right what's going on. If you go into your weapons, I can say I want ammo, so I can say request ammo and it will ping to my mate saying please can I have some ammo. If I want a shield or head shield, I can say please can I have a head shield, etc., and it will send them a little message. And although you can't hear the gameplay, I've turned it off because squad mates can say things that aren't broadcastable, although you can turn it off. But if you do want to turn off, and you do play this, if you go to squad, you can see there is a mute button here. Usually there's 3 people, but on this one you can mute the people, and if the ping's crazy, a lot of young kids play it and just ping. So there's not too much difference over there, but one thing that is a big change in Apex that isn't in Fortnite is the ability to revive your squad. So what happens is if your squad gets knocked, first of all you can revive them in the standard way, just by holding down a button, and as long as nobody gets you in the meantime, they will be revived and come back to life with a small amount of health. But if they get completely wiped out, they leave a little box. It's called a death box, and if you go up to it, you can take their banner, and you can take their banner to a supply ship, and it will bring them back to life. Now I'm going to try and replicate that in the game. It's not the easiest thing to do, especially as I'm new to it, but we'll have a go and I'll record it, and if I can reproduce that, I will show it to you now and just show you how it works and see if Fortnite copies the same. Now, other than the sliding downhill, the number of people in the dropship, you might also see the meters. You can see how many meters away. That's all coming to Fortnite as well, so it's amazing that Apex and Fortnite aren't battling away saying you've copied me. But right then, I don't know if this is possible, but my teammate has been downed and will soon leave a box, so just going to wait for the bad guys to move out of the way. Shock horror, as soon as somebody's knocked they leave because they have no patience. So what I'm going to try and do is nick my mate's banner. He's very brave. Right, so I've got his banner. Now I can respawn this banner at a beacon, although I've no guns. So I'm in big trouble here, but it's just to show you this part of the gameplay. Now, as I showed you before, the sliding is pretty good in Apex. I do like that. I do like the number of people in the dropship it tells you. That's quite good. The jumping is a bit flaky in Apex, what you can sail up, etc. I found a few weapons just in case. Let's take these. I just need to wait a bit because it's been surrounded. But there is a beacon. Oh! I'll try that one again. Somebody got me on the rooftop. But I was quite cheeky there, running in between 2 people just to grab the box and run. One other thing that it looks like Fortnite's copied is that when players go into buildings, you can see them. Let me just watch this. You can see it's sort of like they're behind the thing, but you can see their shadows still. So it looks like that's another thing that's come into Fortnite recently. There's also the backpack concept on Apex, where you can hold more things if you pick up a backpack. There's also a knockdown shield, so if you get knocked down, you can put a shield up and it sort of stops or helps you from being completely taken out, rather, and gives you a chance to be revived. Okay, so my teammate has been knocked. Well, more than knocked and taken out further. There's quite a few bad guys over there, so see if we can make it. Teammates here. It'd be perfect if my teammate takes the other people out. Although my aim isn't terrible on this game. It's, I think, better than it is on Fortnite, but then there's better players on Fortnite because it's older. So as you can see, we've got a recovery 51 seconds, so you get 85 seconds to get to their box. So we've got the box, so this guy's got a banner, and the place we need to get to is here. Put some smoke down. Oh. Try again. So you can guess I've failed miserably. Too busy trying to film something. Now our mate could probably get both of us because the banner is right next to the beacon. So if he's got the skills, he can collect me, and he's already got the teammate because I've already collected that banner. Right, so he's just picked up my banner and he's going to take me now to the respawn. So now you'll see both of us. See how many times I can be respawned in one match. So me and my friend will both be in this little ship. So you just keep doing this forever and ever and ever. But when you have used a beacon, it disappears, so you have to go somewhere else. There's people here. See, the problem is when you do respawn, you have no guns, etc. So I just need to get out of this place. So to recap, we've got a few things that we could see come across from Apex into Fortnite. We've got the respawning of players, which I hope doesn't come in. You've got the sliding down the hills. You've got the meters away. You can see 70 meters on the right of the screen. Number of people left in the battle bus. That'd be quite handy to see. We'll see what happens. The ping system seems to have come across already, and the sort of silhouettes of the players. Hello, friend. I'm not being a total coward. I'm just talking to camera. I'll play with you shortly. So, what do you think? What should come across? What shouldn't? And let's say if you're not a teenager, Apex is probably not for you just yet. But I'm sure there'll be a game just as good when you are. So thanks ever so much for watching. I'll see you later. Right. So not sure what I can keep in and what keep out, because this is more of an adult game. But I've managed to get my teammate's banner. This is the same game. See if we can do it for the third time, although knowing my skills at the moment, I'm going to struggle, but we'll see. See if we can do it. I'm determined to do one myself. Sorry, say goodbye to camera, and then I was sort of like a postscript many times. Right, so where's, oh, it's right up there. Sorry friend, done you the injustice of running away. I thought you'd be following me. Okay, beacon. Anybody here this time? Wasn't even looking last time. Right, come on, 3 seconds, 3 seconds. Fabulous, I finally respawned one of my teammates, so thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Please comment below, we always reply as long as they're clean, and I'll see you in the next one. So back again. So that game, I think we respawned. I had a banner again at the end, but there was no beacons to put them, to rekindle them. And I found one at the end, but it just wasn't active. So maybe it must have been used or something. But here's the XP breakdown. You can see top 3 finish, how long you've survived, which I think is 3 per second. They're like kills rather than eliminations on here, and that's what's so good about Fortnite. It's got rid of kills. Outlive opponents has even been replaced by Outlast, as it should be, and you can see you get 200 if you respawn an ally, 25 if you revive one, damage done to 8-9, elimination of the day, and total XP 5,259, that's quite high for a game, so it must be the 20 minutes survived. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.